Yeah. Let's see. Full screen. And then, boom shakalaka. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Crypto Beadles? We
Man,
are live.
love it, man. I'm doing great, and I love the scenery behind you, man. It reminds me of home, man. It looks like high wave day in the Bahamas, man. I love it.
Yeah.
And look, see, sporting with some crypto love,
Dude, we're
man.
like twins.
Yeah, I know
We
you got a
got
sexy beard, though. Yeah,
we got
it's
beard, we got shirts. If I had a hat, if I had a black hat, man, we would be identical.
yep. See, so Jordan hat from the Bahamas. I got my crypto love sporting. So I actually went on your store and bought it. See, so it wasn't free swag, guys. I actually went out there and bought it. I got to
Yeah.
support it too.
I appreciate that. That's how I paid for rent this past month.
That's right. You moved. That's right. So where you were in Florida? Where are you at now?
Still in Florida, moved to the other side of town.
Oh, well, that's not much of a move. You made it
Uh,
sound like you're going to the other side of the country or world.
I was hoping to go to Thailand, but things just didn't work out this time. Yeah,
Wow. My
yeah.
buddy went there and he's never come back.
I know. I know that would have happened to me too.
I hear it's cheap and beautiful and yeah, I remember you and I talked about it last time when we were in LA. Sounds pretty incredible. So I definitely got to make my way over there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be a fun time. But before then, how are things there? How are things there on the West Coast? Is it still
Yeah.
the best coast?
Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah, I've been all over the world for the most part. I haven't made Thailand or some parts of Asia, but for some reason, I just I have to stay here and I have to be in the Bahamas and sometimes Hawaii. But yeah, it's nice, man. It's great. We have this big heat wave that's coming through right now, so it's we're hitting like the 90s. So that's took us by surprise a little bit,
Wow.
but family's healthy, businesses are great, channels growing. Can't complain, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Your channel is blowing up, and for good reason. But yeah,
Well, I tell you, man, God, and having my kid help with everything, and just surround myself with good people, man.
hmm
It's pretty easy when you got a lot of smart people that have smart projects, and you just let them talk about it. It's nothing too new. I got a software company, so I understand the space a little bit, and it's just something I love to do, and it's kind of fun to do it. So I'm glad that people enjoy it.
yeah, absolutely. And also, like, I mean, it's really cool. You're very, very humble. You're very like friendly and approachable, and that's awesome.
Depends. The dog loves me the most. I think she's right at my feet. So.
They
How's
usually
your
do.
dog doing? How's your dog doing?
She's doing awesome. She's doing awesome. So like we moved across town, and it's easier to go for longer walks here. So we've been walking her a bit longer, but she's a black dog in Florida, and after like
She's
after
just
like a yeah after a 10-minute walk, she's done.
I take this little poodle, man. I run like 3 miles a day, and she keeps up, man.
Uh-huh.
On the last lap, she's dragging ass a little bit, but
Uh-huh.
it's pretty funny, man. Seeing me run with a little poodle. My last dog was like 240 pounds,
Oh,
so this,
yeah, it's a big difference.
yeah, a little bit. So
What type of dog was that?
I was a Brazilian Fila, so it actually came from Brazil. They look like these huge mastiffs you can put like saddles on, and the old saying is faithful as a Fila. They're supposed to be like a one family dog,
hmm
but yeah, it just it wasn't so friendly to the family. Dog loved me, but yeah, we had to relocate him because he started trying to attack the wife and the kids, and so we got a poodle. The bite's a
Yeah,
lot less.
good stuff. You got any Dogecoin?
Doge, I don't, man. I love the premise and everything behind it, and you'd think that loving dogs I would, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't have any Dogecoin either. I always got Shiba Inus. They were like the most vicious dogs. I mean, they're very protective of their owners, but when they go to the vet, they're the most vicious dogs. And so when I used to work as a vet, it was just bad news.
Yeah, that or a Chihuahua when you're have a piece of glass between the two of you. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So how about the new like the market today? Just
Well,
crazy.
yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of whales out there just splashing around, man. Because if you're able to move Bitcoin $100, $200, and you move it with enough money, they're doing all right. So you see the market cap. I think we hit like almost 450. Now we're down in the 380s, I think. So
hmm
I think next week, we're going to see it go back up quite a bit. I think June, July, it's really going to start taking off, and by the end of the year, hopefully, we're going to be looking really, really good. So
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be awesome. I've been reading The Internet of Money by Andreas Antonopoulos.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy cow, inspirational book.
That is one smart dude, man. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's one smart dude. I interviewed a guy that looked just like him, man. The name of his is called D Exchange, I think it is the name of his company. And man, the guy looks just like him, sounds just like him. You guys will have to check it out. He's trying to put basically like take virtual goods and make them, physical things. So like for video games and things like that. And the whole time I'm talking to the guy, I'm just like, dude, you're Andreas, man. You sound just like him. You look just like him.
Oh my goodness. Is he Greek?
Yeah, I think he is, or Greek or Russian. I know there's a difference, but
Yeah, they're
but
just
yeah,
two neighboring countries.
yeah, they're a lot closer than I am, right? So
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
they just look alike and they sound alike, and they're both super smart. So it was pretty funny. It was really hard to hold back a smile the whole time I'm talking to the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard so like this morning I did a news episode about how potentially the um, Upbit exchange could have caused some of the price manipulation. And someone responded to that later saying that it's, completely overblown. They just don't get the whole liquidity thing with the markets. But I also read something else that more Mt. Gox trustees are dumping Bitcoin.
Yeah, and then that what is it? It's called the Pineapple Fund. They stopped. I think what they do give out like 55 million bucks or something in Bitcoin just recently. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of people dumping some coin right now. So that might have something to do with it. But
Yeah,
yeah, there's always going to be takers for it. So there's
yeah,
there's people buying it.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, after reading Andreas's book, it just makes me want to live completely off of Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a credit card you can spend it with? Because I don't have one of those yet.
Not yet. No, that everybody that's talked about, having those, all the projects that I've reviewed and seen, they're not live yet. I know there's a couple out there,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm more of a holder. There's a lot of people that like to buy, and they're looking at the market every single day, and I kind of let it do its thing because I'm kind of thinking big picture. It's like, okay, I know this project, I know that project, I know what they're doing, I know what they're going to bring to the market. I trust them. So then I buy it and I just kind of set it and forget it.
Mm-hmm. The old
Yeah,
Ron Popeil method.
yeah, yeah. Just
Rotisserie oven.
exactly, man. Just set it and forget it. You'll know when it's time to eat.
Yeah. We should just call that instead of hodling, we should call it the Showtime method.
There you go.
I just Showtime my Bitcoin, set it and forget it.
I like it. Yeah, I like it. But
Yeah.
yeah, and another thing too, man, is with Bitcoin, I'm scared to spend it. You know what I mean? It's like they're like precious. You know what I mean? It's like
Oh yeah.
I get the whole idea behind spending, the cryptocurrency, and that's how you create adoption. And I'm totally cool with that, with like pegged coins.
Mhm.
But Bitcoin, man, you just never know. Like one day you're gonna wake up and it's gonna be twice as much as it was.
Mhm.
Or if you're the vendor, it's gonna be worth twice as little. So I've always been scared to spend Bitcoin. I don't have a problem with like Ethereum, and if I use Ripple, that would be fine. But it'd be better to have something pegged that was actually worth something, like not like Tether, but something was actually
Yeah.
pegged to a dollar. I'd use the crap out of that, but
Yeah.
we don't have that yet. So everything's still kind of speculative until we have some adoption, I think. So.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. When do you think main adoption is going to happen?
Um, well, I would say first we need a solid use case, right? So as soon as we have that, I would say probably within about a year and a half of that date. So right now we don't have anything that works other than Bitcoin and kind of Ethereum. So you've got Steemit, which I think sucks. People like it, they'll hate me for it, but I love what they're trying to do. But like, I still don't understand it. Like all the upvoting and the Steam dollars, and
Hmm.
it's really confusing. You know what I mean? It's really confusing, and so there's really not a lot of stuff out there that's decentralized that truly works that you could just use and you don't even know. Like Facebook, if that was decentralized, everybody would be using crypto, right?
Hmm.
Like Steemit, it's in DTube. Like you try to upload a video and it crashes. You try to watch a video, it's just sitting there pinwheeling.
Hmm.
So the idea behind it is awesome. And then you get things like the Brave browser, which are starting to make a dent. But to have something that would be truly decentralized that works, that's when I think, maybe a year and a half from then, that's when you're going to see everybody just using the crap out of crypto and just really, kind of like the internet. You know, in the beginning of the internet, you had a lot of, spam, scams, and, people really didn't know it. They didn't trust it. It was kind of used for porn. Then after, you started getting some e-commerce in there that was legitimate and people actually started receiving the goods. And they're like, wait a minute, this is so much easier than going to the store. It just like came to my door. This is awesome, right? Then everybody's on the internet for all
Yeah,
kinds
and they
of
finally stopped using the internet for porn. Thank God.
exactly. Yeah. So that's what we need, though. We need not porn, but we need something a real use case. And then give it about a year and a half, and I think you'll see a whole bunch of people behind it. And that's when you'll see the stuff like Tim Draper and all these guys are talking about, coming to fruition with all these crazy multiples and high price coins.
Oh, yeah. Because there's still only a fraction of the people who actually have any or who are actually in cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it depends what report you look at. Some people say it's like less than 1%. Some people say it's 3%. Then you read like different articles, like on whether it's mainstream media or whatnot that says that 50 to 70% of people know about cryptocurrency in the major countries where cryptocurrencies are prevalent, and that only 3% plan on getting into it or something like that if they're not already into it. It's like, I don't know where they get their data, but as soon as like Facebook makes a coin and they're already talking about it and they have those freaking billions of users that they got and they're all able to start trading Facebook coins, you're going to have global adoption. You know what I mean? Just like overnight. So something like that happened and everybody's going to be talking about like, of course, crypto's awesome. Everybody knows.
It'll be like, I was in it since the very beginning.
Exactly.
I totally bought Bitcoin back in 2017 and then sold at the beginning of 2018. But I was in it way back then.
Exactly. That's what you're going to be seeing. You just need that one use case, man. You get that one and everything's just going to set fire to the industry. Yeah. So right now, everybody's just clawing just to be that one, but it's just going to, one of these big guys, they'll probably be the ones that do it. Don't get me wrong. There's lots of Amazon type companies in those 1,500 coins. But when you get somebody in there with billions and billions of dollars, it just says, okay, I'm here to play. That's when the game changes. And so you saw that with Telegram, right? They don't even charge money. They're just a free service, but everybody knows who they are. They're a global giant. They're just like, I think we'll do an ICO. So like 1.8 billion or 1.6 billion raised. So like, that was easy. Let's do it again. $3 billion. I mean,
and that was only from like 97 investors.
It's crazy. It was all private investors. They never even gave, us, the general public, or even accredited investors the opportunity to do it. No. So like I said, when big guys like that come in, that's when you're going to start seeing some real change. So it's hard to say an exact date for mass adoption until one of those dates happen. Yeah. But like Serum Labs, that's one that I love,
I want you to talk about Serum Labs, please.
Man, yeah, I just love those guys, and they don't pay me to say any of this stuff. So a lot of people think, oh, you're a spokesman for Serum Labs. They pay you. Like, no, man, it's a real world use case because everybody has, a cell phone, multiple cell phones. And the idea of, being able to put crypto on it, right? Not just as an app, but the idea that you have a phone in your hand that runs on blockchain, that acts as a vault, that has two screens, right? So you get a screen for all the stuff that you normally do. Like if you're basically doing things like, I don't know, text messaging, checking your Facebook, sending emails, it does all that. And then you got a secondary screen, which is like your secure crypto vault, right? So biometric, everything all encrypted. So that way, if you want to start sending Dogecoin, or if you want to send, Facebook coins or Bitcoins or whatever, you'll be able to do that. And their software that they've created for it, I mean, it's all cutting edge. And so they've shared some stuff with me. And so that's why, I'm kind of like, I'm super excited because maybe I know a little bit more, than some of the other people. But, I still haven't seen nearly anything compared to like what they're going to be doing. But I got like little teasers and man, just seeing that stuff work. And then all their partnerships, like with Foxconn. So Foxconn makes the Apple phone. Well, they're making the freaking Finney phone, which is Serum Labs, side by side. Oh, wow. They have like Huawei, the third largest, cell phone.
The cell phone provider that no one can pronounce.
Exactly. I probably just butchered it right there. I know today in the news, they actually released, I think it's a Bitcoin wallet for their phone. So it's going to come soon on all their phones. But so I mean, I know Serum had been in talks with those guys, and I guess it leaked. Somehow it leaked. And so they had to call back the article, so if something was happening there, maybe it isn't now, or I don't know, but they, you could see them, backpedal a little bit there. What else? They got Charles
Cardano. Yeah.
data, man. I mean, so when you start looking at like all these, I mean, it's not just like hot air. It's not like an air coin, right? It's like they're actually doing cool stuff, and they already have a prototype, right? And they already have an existing product line. They already have that Solarian phone. So I already know they're not full of crap because, you know, they sell it. You can go buy one right now at like Harrods. They're in the UK, you know, that expensive store. It's obviously not a cell phone for the masses, but I've seen it, I've used it, I've played with it. It's incredible. I mean, it makes the Apple phones and everything look like, you know, it looks like the world's first razor, you know, like the flip phones or something, you know. So they're incredible phones, and so they know what they're doing. So they did that, and now they're doing a blockchain phone. It's like, yeah, I'm going to buy a crap ton of their coin because
Yeah.
I think it's going to go way up. I mean, it was already at like $3.50, and then we just had the market go down, so I think it's at like 40 cents right
Yeah,
now.
it's a steal right now.
Yeah, what do you think is going to happen? You know, like when they release this phone at the end of the year, and people are actually freaking calling their stockbrokers and calling their buddies. Yeah, I'm actually calling on the phone. It's
Right?
like, yeah, that's. I'm looking forward to that day. I'm going to buy a bunch of them, give them away to my audience just for fun.
That's awesome.
I
And I
told
mean
you.
the phone is just as expensive as an iPhone. So it's not any more expensive. It's a
Yeah, see,
thousand
that's
bucks.
exactly right. So you got an iPhone like this one right here. This iPhone is like $1,250 because it's got the little bit bigger hard drive in it. But the Finney's like $999. But I know that I saw on their website somewhere where there's like $100 discount or something. So I'm not sure if they're gonna, you know, continue that, but you know, for like $899 or $999, and it does everything an iPhone does and way more,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all your crypto safe, and it runs on the blockchain. That's pretty sexy, man. I'm a big fan. You know, like I
Yeah.
said, you know, being in software and actually seeing real world use of this stuff, it's pretty cool, man. It's hard not to get excited about it for me.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's awesome. I mean, that's definitely one of the things I want to talk to you about because I know in terms of like Siren Labs, I look at you as like the Siren Labs expert.
Yeah, it's funny. It's just if you find something that you're kind of passionate about, or you know, a project, you just kind of learn as much as you can about it. And I've got to know the team really, really well, and they're just great guys. Like
Mm-hmm.
Nimrod May, you know, that guy. I mean, he not only was like he was with what Google Ventures is one of their mentors and their venture capital guys. He was the chief marketeer for like Disney. You know, so he was one of the creators of Get, which is like the Uber of, you know, Israel, that area over there.
Mm-hmm.
He's been like CMO and VP and CEO of like numerous different companies, and that's just their marketing guy. You know, then they have like all their tech guys that actually know what they're doing that came from like my neck of the woods in the Silicon Valley. They work for all the big phone providers, so they actually understand how phones work. They've actually made phones. You know, their tech team, their developers. These guys have all done this type of stuff before. So, you know, it's not like one of those projects where, you know, hey man, we're going to give you this cool phone, right? I'm like, well, who are you? I'm like, oh, I'm a marketing guy. It's like, okay, all right. So you're selling me an Aircoin. All right, who's your team? Well, we're going to raise a bunch of money and then we're going to go hire our team. Oh, okay, sure you are, buddy. Because
Mm-hmm.
like in this market, any Solidity developer, they're working, and
Yeah.
if they're not, they suck, right? They suck, or they've made so much money, they're taking a break, right? And they don't care about your project because you know they're living on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
So when people say they're just going to go hire their help, I don't believe that, man, because there's no help to be hired. They have to keep making developers. So they're taking like web guys, like HTML, CSS guys, and turning them into like Solidity developers. So
Yeah.
there's a learning curve. You can't do Solidity for a week and then now you're building freaking blockchain phones. You know what I mean?
No. No. And like back in January when I was at BTC Miami, they were saying that there's 14 blockchain developer jobs for every one blockchain developer. And that was back when there were like 1,200 cryptos. Now there's 1,600 cryptos. So you can only imagine us getting like more and more.
It's crazy. Yeah, and they're trying to poach. So a lot of these companies that have a lot of money or they raise a lot of money, you know, they'll look for some of the best help, and then they'll reach out to those projects, not to the project itself, but to the team on the project, and try to poach them from LinkedIn or something like that. So I'm telling you, man, if people want to make money, if they're struggling in their jobs right now, and you know they're just not making enough money to make ends meet, and they don't have money to go out and invest in crypto, man, learn crypto. Just learn how to write it. Become a developer. Become a software engineer for Solidity. Learn EOS. You know, learn Neo. You know, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And the next thing you know, you're making freaking $200,000 a month, like some of these guys.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's
That's
not.
what That's what I'm doing now, because in school I studied physics, so we had to learn computer programming, and then I got out working doing computer programming.
Say it so casually. Yeah, it's just physics and all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I barely made it out.
You made
I had to beg a professor not to fail me in quantum mechanics 3.
I wouldn't have made it quantum mechanics 1, so
Yeah, barely made it through that as well. But yeah, I'm learning. Solidity now. I'm learning everything because why the heck not? It's like it literally is brand new technology. It's like imagine being around with computers back in 1989 when you could have learned, I don't know what language they were using back then, but you would learn machine code or whatever, and you'd be at the very ground level. So I see that as the opportunity we have now. And like so yeah, there's the game Crypto Zombies that Loom came out with. So I'm working through that, and then also just plan on learning, like just learning it, because why the hell not? Like, suppose shit hits the fan, then I could always fall back on being a Solidity developer or something.
of course. And, honestly, that just helps you do what you do even better, right? So, if you want to be a better investor, you just go check out their GitHub. If you understand how to read Solidity, you'd be like, oh God, these guys are horrible. This is, this is not the one for me, right?
Yeah.
So like before I invest, a lot of times I'll do that if they have code, you know what I mean? So we make sure that they're not just selling air, because a lot of people do. So yeah, if I was you and I wanted, or anybody that wants to make money in this space by becoming a developer, I think at Bit Degree, they have some good courses out there. I know that Ivan on Tech has some good courses out there. YouTube's got a bunch of free stuff. So those are like real good places to learn on your own time. So a lot of people are busy. They got a day job. They only got maybe an hour or something like that. But you can go to like Bit Degree and maybe Udemy and places like that and, learn. I think some of that stuff's free.
Yeah.
So I think Ivan's costs money. YouTube is free.
Yeah.
But it's good to have a structured environment like school, you know what I mean? Like where you have lessons and you interact with people. YouTube lacks a little there. But
yeah. But like an hour a day compiles. Like if you do an hour a day in a year, you'll be a Solidity developer.
Exactly. Not only that, it's like a fat person, right? So if you need to lose some weight, you work out a half hour a day, maybe you cut back your calories a little bit, and you're 100 pounds lighter in a year. So same thing. Every little bit helps, man.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, awesome. So I guess let's take some questions from people.
Cool. I can't see anything other than
yeah, I'll take some questions. So it's just, there's a little bit of a lag, but we'll ask them for questions. Anybody who has questions, you can ask us questions, anything you want. Like if we plan to have matching beards.
Yeah, see, man, I'm just not as manly as you, man. Yours grows in all nice and thick, and I still got kind of that white trash going on.
You got more hair on the head, though.
Yeah, well, I just don't shave it, so yeah, it's it's pretty long.
Yeah. All right.
But so you guys, who's all going to Consensus? You going? Any of the viewers? Anybody going?
I am not going that I know of. I kind of got spent from like traveling all over the world, and so yeah, I'm probably not going. But there was that award thing for the last time we live streamed, so who knows? But,
there you go.
Yeah. So somebody asked, what's the hot blockchain to learn?
Well, the first one I would start with, of course, is Ethereum, because that's the most fungible, right? So everybody that's trying to do an ICO and anybody that's trying to get into the space, they're doing all their tokens through ERC20. So that's Ethereum based. So I would learn that one first. Then I would probably learn Neo and then maybe EOS. So yeah, because Neo's great. You got, Ontology and you got Neo, but those haven't quite hit the, kind of the traction that Ethereum has. I would definitely start with Solidity first, because you'll be making money. As soon as you're able to make something work and you basically understand how to audit a smart contract, you can make money. So you'll be making money right from that. And everything else, like EOS, isn't really being used yet. It'd be a great one to learn. It's going to be used. It's going to be big. So I would go Ethereum, Neo, and then probably EOS.
Yeah. Do you know, is EOS going to have their own proprietary language?
I don't know. I don't know a ton about Dan Lerner's project.
I don't think anybody does.
Yeah. I've been critical of it in the past. So, but Yeah, because it's kind of centralized. It's decentralized, centralized. They got these big swarms. Where they have like 21 different hubs with a bunch of computers in them, and that's their idea of decentralization. Like a consensus of sorts where people vote and things like that. But my argument would be, why not just use Amazon? Why not just freaking get 300 different servers on Amazon across the different world and across the world, and just put different people in charge of them? You guys can all vote. Done. Yeah. Let's run it on C++ and call it a day.
Right?
It works. But I guess you can't raise billions of dollars if you do that.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not.
You'd probably do it for a few grand. So.
Well, I think, at least from my understanding, with like the smaller number of nodes, that enables the chains to be faster. But it sacrifices decentralization.
Yeah. No, you're right. So I simplified it a lot, but if you've got, if you have like these Amazon servers with instance on them and things like that, they're pretty quick. They're quick enough for credit card transactions. So, I'm sure there's a way you could stream them together and make them decentralized in parts with different, maybe like node moderators or something like that. I guess we could just sit down and create a blockchain on that real quick right now.
Dude, let's do it.
I kind of like doing this stuff. So
we
totally
should.
In a couple minutes here.
Yeah, just imagine how many people we could get on the team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's hard when you start doing all the sharding and all that kind of stuff. But basically, just creating a decentralized, algorithm. I don't think that's too big a deal. Use the AWS. That's what so many people are doing. They're creating these centralized solutions that are kind of like they're saying, oh yeah, we're a blockchain project. But what they don't tell you is 99.9% of it is on their servers at their house or AWS, and then the 0.1%, is maybe just keeping track of a couple transactions or something like that. So, yeah.
I mean,
they call it a private blockchain.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like the second layer solutions, though, right? Because most stuff is happening off chain. It's just a little bit they're putting on chain.
Yeah, but when they advertise themselves as a blockchain company, I mean, come on. They're just using one tiny little aspect to plug into it. So.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's see. What's the next one? Will Bitcoin hit 20,000 again?
I think so, but again, I'm not a financial advisor, financial planner. This is just my opinions, but yeah, I think we'll be at like 28 grand by the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely.
Because by the time you figure the influx of money that's coming in from like your Goldman Sachs's and your Rothschilds and your JP Morgans and your Rings and all these different people, all that money's got to do something. What people don't understand about the market cap is that is not physical money. It is physical money they can take out, but it's not physical money that went in. So if we have a market cap of $350 billion, that wasn't $350 billion that went in. Maybe like if you bought a coin for $1 and you gave them $1 and it went up $5, you get $4 of air value that just came out of thin air. And a lot of that happened in the market cap. What happens when people start dumping billions and billions of dollars in there and you have all that air money? You know what I mean? Just that out of nowhere profit that just came out of thin air because the price of the coin went up.
Yep.
I think 28,000 is achievable in my viewpoint. I could be wrong.
Oh, definitely. No, I agree with you. I think we'll be back up there. I mean, it's still early in the year, so like looking back historically at previous years, you really never saw anything till like May, June, July, and then also in the end of the year there's a spike. So it's still early in the year. But also, like somebody else asked, how early are we in the game? And I think that we are so early in the game. It's like the internet back when people are like, so email's that www dot thing, and then the internet is that thing with the A with the squiggly thing around it. That's the internet, right? And it's like, no, you got those backwards. I think that's where we are right now.
It's definitely close. Some people, liken it to the first inning, but I think we're probably closer to the second, only because so many people have heard about it now, right? So, there's so many people that have heard about it. They have an opinion one way or another. And so to me, that tells me that, okay, the word's getting out, but we don't have adoption yet because we don't have a real use case. Mm-hmm. So that's when I think some of those innings are just going to speed up like overnight. You're going to be like, eighth inning. Wait a minute, what happened to third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh? Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like Facebook where people were like, oh, that's what the kids use at school. And then the next thing they're like, oh, I just posted a selfie on there, LOL.
exactly. You know, they became, you know, Einstein overnight. You know, they. Yeah, that's what I think is going to kind of happen here after you have a Facebook type platform that launches that works. So there's a few out there I got my eye on, you know, and I think if something like that happens, it's off to the races.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, not financial advice, but is it the best time to buy crypto right now?
So again, like you said, not financial advice, but me, I'm always buying. You know, I'm not one of those guys that you know waits for a huge dip. You know, if I've done my research and you know I believe in the project, you know, then I buy kind of like no matter where the price is, provided that you know it's got room to grow, right? So if you're buying into something that's got 10 trillion freaking tokens and it's already at $5, I may believe in the project, but I don't think it's going to go much higher because you got freaking 5 trillion tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of look at the thing as a whole. But a lot of people, you know, they don't buy at the top. You know, they try to time the bottom. I don't know, and you can make a lot of money doing that if you're good at it, but you can also lose a lot of money too. I just, it's for me, it's easier just to find solid projects that make sense, that have a great team, and then I'll invest in those ones there, and it works out pretty good for me.
Yeah,
So
I do the same thing. So like I value investing comes pretty naturally to me, so I stick with that, buy things and hold on to them. But um I also play around a little bit with these hype coins because like there's just some projects that you know that are gonna like basically they're just whatever people are talking about, and regardless of if they're a great project or not, you know they're gonna go up. So
yeah,
I just, especially recently, that seems to be the new meta in cryptocurrency right now is like the coin of the week,
yeah.
and I just like to ride those waves up right now. So
No,
I'll
you're
buy
right.
some and then just keep updating my stop loss, and then eventually it'll come back down, and I just take whatever profits.
No, you're right. You can make a ton of money doing stuff like that. You know, that's just not something that you know I do, but I know a lot of people that do, and they make a lot of money doing that because they're smart about it. You know, just like you said, you put your stop losses in place, so you know that you're only going to lose so much money. And if you know one of these cryptos is going to take off, or you think it is, then you can kind of hedge your losses.
Hmm.
You know, why not, right? I mean, if you kind of if you already know that it's going to happen, so
Yeah,
if you got an inside track, why not?
yeah, yeah.
I
Don't.
just worry about taxes because if I go out and I buy a bunch of this stuff, say you know I make a buck, you know, woo, I just made a buck. At the end of the year, now I got to pay 55 cents in taxes. It's like, oh, crap, I'd have been better off just holding it. That's why. That's another
Yeah,
reason why I don't do it.
yeah, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, taxes are an absolute bitch.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially in California, you don't have state tax
yeah.
here, dude. I got state and federal.
Yeah, I actually this year because I moved from Pennsylvania, I was living in Philadelphia, so I still had to pay like leftover state tax and city tax. Ugh, forget
Yeah.
that.
Well, another great thing about Florida, man, no state tax.
Yeah,
Yeah, saves you some money,
yeah. I should
especially.
just keep going back and forth between Florida and Nevada,
Yeah, exactly.
or just move to Gibraltar and not have to deal with taxes at all,
Or the Bahamas.
or
Yep.
Bahamas. Oh yeah, good point. Bahamas, Bahamas. So let's say, okay, here we go. So if someone's a long-term holder, 2 to 5 year plan, let's say they had money to plop into cryptos. What would you say? And then I'll go.
So 2 to 5 years, that's how long they plan on holding it for. What
Yeah.
would be like my picks, or what would I base my picks on?
Yeah. Well, you can say both. Yeah.
All right. So for 2 to 5 years, that's pretty much what I do anyways. So, you know, this is real easy for me. You know, I look at the project, what are they trying to do? So find out what they're trying to do in the space, find out who's already doing that outside of the space and, you know, just a regular world that's not in the crypto yet. Then kind of figure out, are these people going to come in and crush them, or are these people going to come in and buy them, right? So you have to look at the team and figure out, okay, we know what they want to do. We know who the big player is out there. So can this team deliver? All right. So can this team deliver whatever project it is? And if you think that they can, and you go through the white paper and it doesn't sound like complete error and everything looks, you know, looks proper, and you really, you know, you're passionate about the project a bit, you really like it's something that you can embrace. Like, man, you know, the world could use that, and this team I think can deliver it. And that big company out there, I don't think they're going to crush them. I think they might buy them because you know this is so revolutionary what they're doing. Then I would you know find like three different things like that, and then I would buy those three things. Me personally, if it was you know 2 to 5 years, and you know as far as what coins, hmm, Bitcoin, baby, all the way. So Bitcoin's the first one. Ethereum and Neo, man, those ones are tough because you need stuff like that. Ontology, man. So it probably Serum Labs, man. I'm just trying to think the most gain with the smallest market supply, market cap, and coin supply. Yeah, probably Bitcoin, Serum Labs, and probably Ontology. Those would be my three long-term ones.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm right there. I mean, same page as you. Just trying to find good projects that'll last because there's gonna be the market's gonna shake out all the shit coins eventually,
Yeah.
and when that happens, who knows? But so you want to get in on the projects that are gonna be winners. So yeah, Bitcoin definitely. I like the platforms, and I talk about all the times the ones I like. So Bitcoin, Neo, I think EOS, Icon, Ontology. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I was telling you about Ontology, back whenever, when it was like $1, when they were just giving it away, and that's the only way you could get it. I was like, man, when you look at that team and you look at what they're trying to do, they're fixing the problems of Neo. They say one's business, one's for people. And of course, if they came out and just said, no, we're going to replace Neo with this, it would scare the hell out of everybody, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what they're going to do at all. I'm not saying that at all. But when you have a team that smart using open source code, I can see how one day it could replace it. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's at a cheap enough price right now that, or at least it was then, and it still is, I think, long term.
Yeah.
That's definitely one that could be a disruptor, in the future as well as long term.
Yeah. I think it's still undervalued where it is right now. Because
Yeah.
that's one that could easily be in the top, I don't know, top 10, top 20, and it's still outside of the top 20 somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, another one too that I really like is Zilliqa. I've had them on. They've actually walked me through their test net. It works. That says a lot. I'm a huge fan of Charles Hoskinson, right? But so far, I haven't seen anything that works.
Mm-hmm.
So, like with Zilliqa, they come on, they show me, I'm able to send money back and forth, maybe on a test net, but it works. You can see the transactions. IOST, their stuff works.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that says a lot. Now, I'm not saying that when Charles comes out, with Ada, that might just change everything because I know that he's trying to build. I think the way he said it was the best damn blockchain ever. So I know that he's trying to do it, and I'm not saying he won't. But right now, there's some other things that you can already see. So,
Mm-hmm.
but who knows, man? Who knows what the blockchain that everybody's going to be building on is going to be? It's
Mm-hmm.
a big race right now for sure.
Yeah. Someone's asking about nulls. Do you have an opinion on nulls? Any
I know that's one coin that you like, and it's on my list to look into, but I haven't really had the time.
Yeah. It's kind of like an early enterprise blockchain solution. So I think it hasn't really hit its spotlight yet. So yeah.
Yeah, I really don't know enough about it yet to give an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I know you like it,
Yeah.
so there you go. It must
Yeah.
be good, right?
Yeah. What do you think about privacy coins? Oh yeah, that's one that I was thinking Monero and those ones to hold for a while. What do you think about privacy coins?
So I think for the average person, I think it's niche. I really think it's niche, man. I really don't think right now you got people that are buying cryptocurrency because they're speculators. Once people start using it for mass adoption, I think there'll be a bigger use case for it. For like keeping your porn subscription. You know what I mean? Under wraps from the old lady, right? You don't want
We
the
already
wife.
got Verge. We already got Verge for that.
Right, right. So, but what do you really, really need? The average person, right? They sacrifice, their freedoms every single day for convenience. So, how are you going to pitch this to the average person to use it, right? So why is the average person really going to care about keeping, their transactions, private on the blockchain? Like you and I, we get it. Like, yeah, people don't need to know what we're doing. You own a payroll company or you own a business. You don't want people seeing all that stuff. But just think about the masses, right? They're they're not going to go out of their way to use something like that. It's going to be a niche. It's going to be niche people like us that would find a real use for it and use it. So I don't think we're ever going to have the huge adoption and privacy that you will with mainstream coins. They'll always be needed. Don't get me wrong. And Monero is hands down the best by far. But things like Verge, hey, as crappy as the code may be, from what a lot of people have said, dude, they're doing it, right? I mean, it works. People are using it. I think it's a great just to have any cryptocurrency in front of the masses, right? So it may be used in porn, but bottom line is you got Purge cryptocurrency they're getting in front of millions, billions of people, and that just helps all of us in the
Yep.
cryptocurrency space get awareness. So I don't
Talking
know.
about talking about helping all of us in the cryptocurrency space. Did you see Crypto Crow got he's got a show coming up on CBS.
No, I didn't see that. Oh,
Yeah,
that is
it was in the news yesterday. He's gonna have like a 13 series show or something on CBS, airing in front of 40 some million people talking about cryptocurrency and everything.
that is awesome, man.
Yeah, I know.
That'll definitely help the space.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt, that'll be awesome. Let's see. So, any like what coins you mentioned? Zilliqa. You mentioned Siren Labs. Any coins you have your eyes on? Everybody wants to know what's going to be the next 100x coin.
Uh,
Obviously, the answer is Dentacoin. Obviously.
I hear BitConnect's great right now.
Oh yeah, you can get it at a bargain price. Bargain price.
Yeah. Let's see. Man, speculative, quick, like, man.
Not, I mean, not speculative, but like, and other than Zilliqa and Siren Labs.
So, I mean, I like ontology, I like Zilliqa, I like IOST.
Why IOST?
Because they're a blockchain solution too, and Jimmy and all those guys are super smart guys that they believe in what they're doing, and I think they got the brains to do it. So, just knowing the team, I think that they can do a lot. Bancor, that's another one that I really like. Coinvest, another one I really like.
Why Bancor?
Dude, because they're kind of like a decentralized exchange of sorts. Not truly decentralized, but it's got a liquidity pool built within it. So from day one, all these ICOs and everything that are just fighting, for their lives to get their coins listed on an exchange, they don't have to do that with Bancor. They can be up and running the same day that they release. They can have their coins up on that exchange. People can be buying, interacting with them, stuff like that. And it's not that huge, $3 million buy-in that like Binance charges these cryptocurrencies. So there's a real use case. And like EAL and those guys over there, I mean, they were really small, like, just a few months ago. And their trading volume now is, I think it's getting close to like 150, $200 million a week. So it's being used. They have over 70 coins there. And I think by the end of the year, they'll probably be 2-3 times that much. So I think Bancor's got a lot of room to grow. I think things like CoinSeed, where you're able to use, basically a little bit out of every transaction, just take it out of, like, so say for instance, you want to buy a coffee, and so you'll pay $1.05 for the coffee, but the 5 cents really goes to you in some kind of cryptocurrency. So you're actually investing all the time in every one of your transactions, so you're becoming a cryptocurrency investor. And at the end of the year, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, where you got an hour where you're learning Solidity for an hour, you're working out for a half hour a day. At the end of the year, it adds up. Well, imagine every time you use your ATM card and you're buying all these little Snickers bars or coffees or gas or whatever, a little piece of that is going into cryptocurrency in your wallet. Stuff like that, I think, is really cool. So those are some of the ones that I like, that hopefully get mass adoption and traction, and people that want huge gains. Hopefully they'll see those. But again, not financial advice, just stuff that I like.
Yeah. I've noticed one thing that's happened with me. Like the longer I've been in crypto, the more I just like the big projects that I have a good feeling are gonna make it out of whatever, and the less I'd like to kind of dabble with smaller ones. Because I remember when I first got into crypto, and it was the first altcoin bubble back in like May, June of last year. I was looking like down past page 100 into 200, and I was just like, maybe this, maybe that, maybe this. Whereas now I'm just like, I'll just kind of like park it here, hold it, kind of, hope for the long run.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah, the showtime. I'm just showtiming all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
What are some of the questions they got? I can't see any of it.
Yeah. So people are asking about specific coins. I'll name some coins. You stop me when you have one to talk about. All right. Holochain, Elastos, Aeon, Tezos, Manacoin, Smart Cash, Ripple, Pied Piper Coin.
I love it, man. That's basically not Sonum, but oh geez, that is the decentralized web, right? The
Yeah. Substratum.
Stratum. There you go. Yeah, yeah. No, I love the idea of the show, not the coin. But
Yeah.
did you guys ever watch Silicon Valley?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I haven't seen the newest season, but I watched the seasons up until that. And I remember when what's his name was talking about paying him in Bitcoin instead of cash. I was like, yeah, they're talking about it.
yeah, it's definitely drawing some more exposure to the cryptocurrency world, man. I love it, and they do it with so much humor. Everything from AI to ICOs, and yeah, it's super funny, man.
Yeah.
I miss I miss Ehrlich though. Yeah, he's over there, I think, in Deadpool. So Ehrlich's gone. He left this season. So
Did he really?
yeah, so no Ehrlich, man. I miss
Uh,
him. But yeah, out of all those coins right there, I have, I know a little bit about each of them, but not enough to speak intelligently about them.
yeah.
Ripple, everybody knows about. I mean, we can talk about it if you
Yeah,
want.
let's talk about Ripple because this is like in my opinion, okay, this is like the next bit it's not really BitConnect, but it's just like controlled cryptocurrency controlled by the team, yet for some reason is probably going to succeed.
The bankers need a coin, man. And so right now, I mean, you got Jeb, right? That created, what was it, Mount Gox? So he created Mount Gox. He sold it. Then he went and created Ripple. Then he got into it with them. So then he left Ripple, and then he went and created Stellar, right? So I mean, basically, it's kind of like a database, is what Ripple and Stellar are, and that's why they're so fast, and that's why they work so well. I know I simplified it way down, so for the programmers out there, they're flipping me off right now, but I dumbed it down a lot. But it's basically a big database, and so you get that crazy transaction speed that they want. And so the bankers need a coin that they can control, and with Ripple, you can call it back. You can do whatever you want with it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have that huge supply, 50 something percent or whatever, that's a lot that they can flood the market with. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, yeah, I think some stuff like that is definitely going to succeed because the bankers need their coins. So they have their coins, we'll have our coins, and at the end of the day, we'll probably have to use stuff like that, for some of our transactions in the next few years anyways, just because it'll probably be less volatile.
Mm. Yeah. And that was crazy when Ripple was up at like 250 or something. Someone from the Ripple team was the new richest man in the world.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And then it crashed and he was sad. he went back down to like 20th,
Yeah.
so
But I'm sure you're still having fun somewhere.
yeah, no, he still has plenty of money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, IOTA, VeChain, Bitcoin Private. Yeah. I don't know. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
IOTA, yeah, I mean, IOTA, everything that they're trying to do there, it's,
They're in the news every day.
yeah,
Bengals.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do it, but it sounds great, the idea, and I'll believe it when I see it. Like I was one of the early adopters of it. I bought a bunch of coins. I set up a couple nodes. I would see my money come and go and disappear, and the other nodes weren't talking to each other. And I was having problems on the exchanges with the coin. So hopefully they got all that stuff worked out. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, at least they're doing something, right?
Yeah.
So
Right on. Yeah. So how do you handle all the busyness, all the stuff you have to do, all the interviews and everything? Because you're cranking out interviews like nobody's business.
yeah, it's tough, but I've got my core businesses that run without me. So I've got a great bunch of people that run my companies that don't require me to be there. So they're like family that take care of everything. I may pop in every once in a while just to make sure everybody hasn't killed each other, everybody's still breathing, and everybody's having a good time. And but as far as the crypto side of things, you know, dude, it's been great. It's something that we love to do. So it's fun to find cool projects and then actually interview the founders and teams behind them. And so initially, it just started off by my friends asking me to talk about cryptocurrencies so that they could understand it. And then it kind of blossomed into well, let's talk to some of the founders of these projects and see if they're legit, see if they're just selling hot air, and then let the audience kind of decide for themselves, right? And then it's kind of blossomed into now everybody's hitting me from all these different directions, asking me to interview all their projects all the time. And it's really humbling. It's awesome. It's great that, people actually enjoy it and they get to, learn about these different projects and get to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. And so, it's humbling. It's cool, man. God's great. And there's no way I could do it without my oldest son. He's always over there doing all the editing and all the, uploading and all that kind of stuff. Cause we don't have time to do like the social media outreach or any of that kind of stuff. We just kind of post it up there and, it's out in the world, you guys do what you want with it. Right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's been fun. And then, of course I started, my own project with some buddies and some monsters in the industry trying to solve real world adoption issues. So
Awesome.
that'll be coming in New York next week. So it's free. So people will just be able to use it from, day one, and we'll see if that'll help the masses. So,
dude, that's tough. Awesome.
It's tough. It's definitely tough to find time. So
yeah, that's awesome.
But it's fun.
Yeah. Well, you got the work ethic. I remember we were talking about that, how you just like to work and it's hard to relax.
I'm telling you, man, if I get more than 2 hours sleep at night, I feel like I slept in, it's like, yeah, you'll find me up all night, pretty much, talking to people in Israel or talking to people on the other side of the world, and going over code or whatever we need to do. And, then, my morning will start at, 4, 6, something like that, for the other businesses. And then my interviews, sometimes they'll be, late at night or early in the morning, because I'll do a lot of them, during what's convenient hours for them, maybe not so much for me. And they may be on the other side of the world. So yeah, sleep is a luxury.
Yep. Yeah. Very cool. I was curious. This is a personal question for me. What do you think is what is your key to success? Because you've been like ridiculously successful. I mean, by anyone's standards in life. I mean, construction company, software businesses, YouTube channel, everything. And I can tell. I can tell from interacting with you. You're a very friendly person, and it's like you just feel better from interacting with you. But what would you say is your secrets to success?
Man, God first. Family second, hard work third, man, because you kind of need all three, right? So, and if you really, I don't know, if you find something that you're really passionate about, that really helps. Like I've told you, and like the old saying goes, if you love what you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, right? So if you find things that you're passionate about, the money will come. If you don't completely suck at it, right? I mean, you might be man, I want to be a boxer, but you can't take a punch. Not going to work out. Maybe it will. Maybe you'll be the guy that warms up, for the other guys. You're the punching bag. But it helps to be good at what it is that you love to do too. So if you don't have the skills but you love to do it, go get the skills, do what you love, and the money will come. It's but that's kind of like but there is, I guess there is no substitute for hard work. Man, you got to show up. So I don't care. I'll take hard work over talent any day, because I always tell people, like when I would hire them back in the day, I said, I don't care how good you are, you're no good to me if you don't show up. So people will be like, well, why'd you promote that guy over that guy? I'm like, because he shows up. Like, where were you Monday? Where were you Tuesday? So yeah, but I get more work done. I'm like, what? In one day than he does in a whole week? Don't. Mm-hmm. You got to show up and put in the time. But just like with crypto, you got to put in the time. You know what I mean? You got to learn it. If you just buy what everybody tells you to buy, eventually you get burned. You got to put a little bit of work in and do your own research.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. That's awesome advice. Awesome. Let's see. Cool. So, yeah. Let's see. I mean, a lot of the other questions are just asking about specific cryptos. So, yeah, someone asked if you've spoken to the Tezos team yet.
Tezos. I know some of the investors, but I don't know the Tezos team.
Okay. Yeah. Right on. Well, cool. Anything else that you would like to talk about?
Well, let's see here, man. So you heard Bacardi, the Harris, she just gave what was $100 million to a crypto project.
Did she?
Yeah, Tata too. I wrote her down right here. I was like, what? Bacardi wrote, man, that the Monica Bacardi just gave $100 million to Tata too. So it's supposed to be some kind of decentralized YouTube of sorts with social media platform built into it. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with $100 million. Basically, private sale.
Right? The name is Tata too.
Yeah,
Huh.
too. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Yeah. I'm just excited to be in the blockchain. It's an awesome space to be. I mean, you're gonna be at Consensus this coming week, so that's gonna be awesome. Maybe,
Tons.
maybe I'll fly down there. Who knows?
There you go. Yeah, I got
Up there.
tons of interviews coming up. I think I've got like 20 something that I haven't uploaded yet. So people are going to have all kinds of content for a lot of these projects that they're asking about. And so some of the ones I don't talk about, I'll wait till the founder talks about them and then talk about them.
Awesome.
Like when they're wrapping off all these names of coins, it's like, yeah, okay, I'll wait till the video comes out, then I'll talk. But
Freaking awesome.
yeah, and then in Consensus, I've got a bunch of interviews there, and I've got some stage time at a couple different places, and so it'll be a lot of fun, man. If you can make it out, it'd be great. There's going to be a lot of really cool people there, and then just a lot of people in general. The place should be packed. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. BTC Miami was 4,000, and that was packed, so 7,000 will be damn.
Yeah, that's what Crypto Invest Summit there in LA. Joseph, he put that on. It was silly packed. Yeah, it was 4,000 plus people there probably. Yeah, they had sold out. Yeah, it was a really good show. I wish they had done the stages a little bit different, but because the areas they had the stages, you couldn't fit 4,000 people in there. So it was like first come first serve to get your seat, man. And so there's a lot of people just going, oh man, I don't get to see Draper speak, or So I wish they had a bigger, like a bigger arena of sorts. But
Yeah.
hope I'll make that mistake at Consensus.
Dude, it could be one of these years they'll have to have it at like a stadium.
Exactly, like the old Astrodome or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Well, cool, man. I appreciate having a live stream with you. Always a lot of fun. Thanks for
Always
wearing the shirt, dude. Looks good.
gotta represent.
Yeah, looks good. Yeah, when you have some crypto Beadles wear.
I got my little black hat on, and I'll just wear my little Henley shirts and stuff like that, and people make fun of me. But yeah, I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear every day. So I've been doing that for years. Just
Yeah.
got
Very,
about 500 of the same shirts. So
very simple. Very simple. Well, cool, man. Always a pleasure. Have fun at Consensus. Best of luck with the stage time and everything you got there, and then I'll catch you next time.
yeah, stage time isn't at Consensus. It's at a couple other events. They got events, the whole place, all in New York for I don't know, for like 2 weeks is nothing but blockchain. So yeah, I gotta dive in and out. So
Yeah,
always fun, my brother. So hit me up anytime.
awesome. Yeah, hang on for 1 second, then I'll just end the live stream.
Sure. All
Yeah.
right, God bless everybody.
All right, later.